Hi, I'm Emily.
And I'm Hayley.
After meeting online, we became international best friends who bonded over how hard it is to find success in the entertainment industry.
Join us and our celebrity co-authors as they help us write the book on how to make it.
And, more importantly, uncover what making it even means.
Hi, I'm Michael Cyril Creighton, and I wanted to be a priest when I grew up.
Yes, we've never had that.
No, that has changed. That changed pretty quickly. But it was like between a priest and a toy maker. I actually have a book, like my little book, you know, when you write what you wanted to be when you grow up. And it was a priest, a toy maker, and a cake maker. I am none of those things. I've played a priest before, but yeah, I thought it would be a cool thing to be until I realized absolutely not.
Incredibly wholesome.
All three. What kind of toys?
Like action figures, female action figures. Because there were never enough. You could never find them. They were always like they made less of them. I always wanted them. So yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, I like that one. Was there one you were trying to find that you couldn't
Yes.
find?
Chitara. It was from the Thundercats, and there was a female Thundercat named Chitara, and it was impossible to find.
Amazing. I love
And
that.
she had like I think you're probably much younger than I am, but when these toys, they were not super articulated, so you would get them finally, and you try to turn their head so they could talk to other toys, and their head would break off because they were not meant to turn too much. So it's like you'd spend months trying to find this action figure, and then within 2 minutes you'd break it because you were trying to make it, you know, speak to other people.
Sad times. I was just looking up here because I'm pretty sure I've got a He-Man somewhere. I can't
You do?
Yeah, I've got loads of random. No, it's not there. I think it's upstairs. But yeah, I've got a He-Man somewhere. But
That's
no,
fun.
I've got Lando from Star Wars here, which is completely different. That's really cool. Like, what was with the priest thing? What do you think drew you to that role?
I grew up really Catholic, and when I was young, like, my family was friends with priests. I went to Catholic school. I like looked up to authority until I turned until I was older, and then I realized maybe not. And it was something that seemed like it would be a good thing to be because you'd be able to help people and you got to wear the cool outfit and all that stuff. But as I got older, it was definitely not for me.
Yeah,
sure.
I had a bit of a reverend phase.
You did?
Yeah, I quite fancied that, but it's because I didn't understand it. It was the idea of just the justice of it all, but before I realised about religion.
Well, when you're little, like you're just told what you are, and so I was from like 1st through 7th grade. I was voted Christian of the Year, which I don't know really what that even meant. It just meant I was like the nicest boy. There was a boy and a girl Christian of the Year. But I was the nicest boy from 1st through 7th grade. And then 7th grade, it like all went to hell. But, I was told the whole time growing up that, I was Christ-like, which is not really, isn't that psychotic? So I was like, well, then the next thing to do, obviously, is to become a priest so I can,
wow.
follow my calling. Anyway,
I had the it would be nice to not have to think about what you're wearing every day, but I also had that kind of like illusion stripped at a very young age because our priest ended up going to jail for embezzling like a ton of money from
Oh my God.
Wow.
Better thing that I'm glad that's what he went to jail for and not.
I was just thinking that.
For sure.
Right.
I mean, the people making donations were a little bit bumped.
Yeah, but as far as like crimes, that's a better crime.
Anyway, I'll move us into our random facts section.
Well done, Emily, because I was just about to take us on to Fleabag's hot priest.
No. This is a different kind of episode for us today. I had a fact for you. I was going to talk all about tennis and the US Open, and then you posted your like August slideshow on Instagram, and I think you and I may enjoy going to the same bar in Asbury Park.
Wow, that is a really interesting fact off the internet.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
is an interesting fact. You which bar? With the bar?
Paradise.
Yeah, I mean, I like the bar by the pool there at the
Yeah,
entrance.
yeah.
I think it's really fun. I love that pool. Like, it's a place where like feels like everybody's welcome. You know, it's just a
Yes.
very inclusive space. And yeah, I love that bar.
I was there on Sunday. One of the security guards fell in, actually. It
Really,
was
I
really
never
funny.
go at night. Like, I'm not like we if we go to Asbury Park, it's like either a day trip or like maybe a couple nights or whatever. But I'm not like a club person or
Oh no,
late
me
night.
neither. This
So
was
I like
6
the daytime around the pool is lovely.
this was 6 p.m. and you
Yeah.
can bet that I had a ride home at 7:30. I was home by
Yeah.
8 o'clock. But I
Amazing.
saw that picture and I was like, wait a second, I was just there
Do you live
yesterday.
near Asbury Park?
I'm like 20 minutes away.
There's a really good restaurant there called
Okay.
I love this.
Judy's.
Okay, great.
You should go there. It was a great restaurant. We had a good time.
It's on the list. Yeah, I feel like I've been a degree of separation from you for a while because like Hannah Solo was just on the podcast.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then we had Michael Chernus as well. But yeah, so then I saw that and I was like, that's gotta be my fact.
That's a
So
great
there we
fact.
What
have
do
it.
Judy's do? What kind of food is it?
It's the whole concept is that Judy is like a Jewish woman who believes she's Italian. It's like Jewish and Italian food mixed together. It's the person's mother, like the owner's, either the owner or the chef's mother. And the food was
Oh, is
really
it Judy and
fantastic.
Harry's?
Yes, that's exactly it. Judy and
Found
Harry.
it.
The bar in the front is called Harry's, and I guess it's named after the father, Judy's husband. I don't know. Is this what your interviews are usually like, or should I be
Oh,
talking?
this looks amazing.
Haley likes to do research in real time as if she's gonna
Yeah,
fly
sorry.
to
Yeah,
um
Asbury
fly
Park
here.
from UK, and yeah.
It drives Emily insane. She's like, "You're looking at your phone. You're looking at your phone." I'm just looking up the menu. It looks amazing. They've got some latke.
Yep, the latkes were good.
Amazing. Anyway,
Take it away, Haley.
I'm here. Sorry, I'm back in the zone. I'm just really hungry. You made me hungry. You are the jeans guy on 30 Rock.
Yes, that was
I
my
did-
first TV audition ever.
That's so
It was my
cool.
first TV audition, my first job on TV, and I love that episode. It's so funny.
It's
But yeah,
so
I was just
funny.
talking with someone else about this. Like from the beginning, I've been acting with idols of mine, so it's like
Yeah.
I have no time to be starstruck or, nervous about it. I just kind of have to go in and do my job. So I really kind of lucked out that was my first job because I'm such a Tina Fey fan.
Yeah.
And it was such a memorable, everything on 30 Rock is so memorable, but it's a very
Yes.
quotable role.
Yeah. These jeans are zing.
They're dang Halliburton, bitch. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. It's such a good episode. Like, of all the
Yeah.
episodes to be in as well.
And
Yeah, I
your
love
first
that.
audition?
I know.
Yeah, my first TV audition.
Nailed it.
Got it.
What do you think got you that role? What was good about that audition?
I think the cast. I met the casting director at an opening night party of a play. Her Katja Blickfeld is her name, and I didn't know who she was or what she cast. And we were just having a conversation. She was talking about the web series that I made and how she liked it. And she's like, "There might be something for you on the show that I work on." And I was like, "Oh, cool. What's the show?" And she said, 30 Rock. And I was like, "Ugh." So I went into that situation not knowing who she was and being able to just talk to her like a person.
Right.
And then because it was my first ever audition, it seemed like it was going to be first ever TV audition. It felt like it was going to be, it felt so far off. It felt like it wasn't real. So I think I just went in and did it. And she was definitely in my corner. She later created High Maintenance and
Oh.
I got to play a beautiful role on that. So she was always a big supporter. But she and Jessica Daniels and Jennifer McNamara, that casting team were the ones that gave me my first shot.
Yeah. So making those contacts and then showing them the goods.
Yeah. Doesn't always happen that way,
Easy.
but it worked.
Easy
It was easy
peasy.
that day.
You have
Love
a habit of working with the same people because Tina Fey then ended up in Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah.
And I
Mhm.
know there's another character that was on your YouTube in Jack in the Box that ended up
Oh yeah,
And,
Jackie
yes.
Hoffman, and Peter Bartlett, who was in season 3. There's a lot of people who were on my web series from like 2009 that have been
Oh,
on Only
amazing.
Murders. And then, yeah, I have some repeats. Like I worked with Rachel McAdams twice, once in Spotlight, and once, speaking of priests, once in
I
Spotlight,
Yikes.
and once in that, and once in Game Night. Yeah, I luck out. I get to work with a lot of great people.
This is an incredible like amount of, but I also think like I had seen you in Jack in the Box a million years ago.
Wow.
And so I feel like I've seen you, and then I watched High Maintenance, and then I feel like I've seen you pop up, and I love Howard so much, and I feel like your first really meaty scene in season 1 is the whole cat in the freezer thing, and that's like the first like real belly laugh I had from the show. Is your it's like a very physical role, and I feel like was it going to be smaller and then it grew into this bigger role, or did you know
it was supposed to be. The funny thing about that episode, I'll tell you in a second, but it was supposed to be 2 episodes. It was supposed to be the episode where you find out my cat died and I'm crying at the meeting.
Yeah.
And then the second episode was that I was hired for was that one. So the first episode where I'm crying in the lobby and like wiping my face and wiping my nose the whole time, I got COVID during that episode. And it was like right in the height of everything. So the next episode, I was sick and I was like, well, they're going to replace me or they're going to change the script. But they waited till I was better. They waited the 14 days. And then to be extra, extra safe, because it was like back in the day before vaccines and stuff, they had me shoot separately. So I actually was not in the room with them for that scene. And for me, when I watch it, I can tell, and it makes me I don't like that. However, it plays so well for other people that I just have to believe. But yeah, Stephen, Selena did this scene with my body double, who is now my stand-in, this guy Jordan, who's fantastic and has been around for the whole 5 years. They did the scene with him. I was in another room by myself. I watched the scene on an iPad. Like he held the iPad up to his face for a minute, and I did the scene with them once. And then after they were done, they brought me in, and I just did it by myself for like 40 minutes, maybe half an hour.
You cannot tell.
I'm so happy to hear that.
At all.
I'm so happy to hear that.
And I feel compelled to tell you that in 2020, I was taking an online Zoom improv class, which was really difficult, but
I'm sure
it was UCB, and it was like all we could do. And my teacher paused one class to show us the frozen squirrel that he had in his freezer.
No, why?
He had it as a prop, and then he wanted to keep it, and one of the girls in my class was like, "It's right next to your food," and then when that's like one of the lines in that scene.
That is so insane.
Isn't it crazy? And then we called ourselves the frozen squirrels.
That is really creepy.
Anyway,
was he a good teacher?
yeah. I mean, you shouldn't do improv on Zoom, because it would be like, okay, 2 people turn your cameras on when you're ready, and then 4 of us would do it, and then we'd be like, oh, sorry, and then we'd all turn our cameras off.
Oh my God.
And then we'd be like, whoops, and so it was.
That's hilarious.
But anyway, yeah.
I'm gonna
go ahead.
Which prop would you secretly kind of wish you had at home
from the show?
From the show.
Oh, that's a very good question. What prop? I mean, there's a lot of sweaters that I do wish I was able to take. I got maybe 1 or 2 of them, but what prop? That is excellent. I think it would be fun to have one of the bloody knitting needles.
Oh yeah.
And frame it, frame the 2 little bloody knitting needles. That would be kind of cool. I think the frozen cat would be amazing, except you creep me out a little bit, I think. I would say the bloody knitting needle.
Cool. Yeah, the frozen cat, you could take inspiration from Emily's story and just bring it out onto random Zooms.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Just have it behind you on a shelf, really.
Yeah.
With its
I think my dog would not love that. She would not love that.
No. Oh,
no.
True.
Absolutely absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No.
Oh, you're an animal person.
Yes, big
You're a
time.
big animal person.
I am.
On screen and off screen.
On screen and off screen. On screen, I think I've counted how many on the show. A kitten, a bird, a pig, a dog, a parrot. Yeah, so five animals so far on the show. And in life, I have one dog, an amazing, incredible dog.
Oh, I read on the internet about your animal advocacy with a pet adoption agency.
Oh
Your
yeah,
rescue dog dad.
I like anytime I can advocate for animals, I will. You know, I got Sharon is my dog's name. I
Oh
got
my God, what a great dog's name.
It was originally Fiona when we adopted her, and that was just like too Irish for me. Like it's too like I've like distant cousins named Fiona, and I was like, I want it to be Sharon. So we changed her name. But we got her from this place called Muddy Paws, which is an incredible rescue here in New York. And then there's this place, Best Friends Animal Sanctuary, that I go support and go to their benefits and things like that. But I'm any way I can advocate for, and I'm so pro dog adoption. I just think it like completely changed my life in such a good way. I think everybody should do it. It seems so scary, right? Like I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to make time or how my schedule is going to allow it. And it just works perfectly. Makes me so much calmer.
It kind of just happens, doesn't it?
Yeah. Do you have animals?
Oh, Haley, yes, your whole cat story is.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's that as well. But also, I've had a lady coming in looking after my dogs while I was on holiday last week, and in the hour and a half that they were on their own, they completely destroyed my sofa.
Oh
Like, they shot 2
no!
holes in my sofa, so they
What kind of
cannot be
dogs
left
are they?
alone for any period of time.
What kind of dogs?
They're a nightmare. They're a cross beagle and border collie. They need a lot of
They have a lot of
stimulation,
energy. Yeah.
but which they usually get. But yeah, that was not an option.
Oh no!
But it's fine, whatever. But yeah, I had a cat. We basically, my husband was driving home from work, and there was some kittens. He saw some kittens on the ground on this really busy road. He got out to try and rescue it. It disappeared. He thought it must have ran off, and then our car randomly started making noises when we got home.
Oh wow!
And I was like, "What are these? Why is the car meowing?" And this little tiny kitten had just kind of crawled into this little bit underneath the car, I can't even like in between the wheel arch. And it had done so much mileage. It had been all the way to Liverpool and back. Like, I don't know. Nobody understands how it's live.
Huh? What's its name?
It's called Lando. This is the second. So yeah, Lando after the F1 driver, who's also named after the Star Wars character.
Oh, cute.
Anywho, so yes, big animal house over here. Have you got any, Emily?
No.
Emily, you have to
get on it, my friend.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so allergic to everything.
Oh, that's fair.
I tried dog sitting once, and I 5 days in, I was I had to call and be like, I think I might be dying. And then thankfully I went and got allergy tested. I'm so sorry we're talking about this. I went and got allergy tested, and the woman was like, okay, I'll come back in 15 minutes. And before she even left the room, she was like, oh my God, you're allergic to like every, my back was like, so I was like, at least I was correct and I didn't like, but yeah, it's, I have a Jellycat stuffed animal.
That's enough?
Okay.
You know what? As long as you have something to give love to, that's enough.
To cuddle, yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna steer us back to.
Oh, well done, because I was about to go on.
I'm gonna steer us back to you, and Only Murders in the Building. I have so many questions, but I know I have to pick and choose my favorites. I want to ask about. The reason I love your character so much is because, well, so many reasons, but I feel like the physicality of the character is like you can just be be being physical or not talking at all, and I still laugh out loud. And I'm wondering what memories you have, or if you can describe what it was like to film. My favorite scene in the series is the season 2 killer reveal party. And anytime you pass out, I'm like,
I mean, that was so fun. I wish I could do it every episode.
Yeah, when Steve sits back up with the knife,
Yeah.
and you faint again, and then you're like, I only fainted for real one time. Like, can you just describe? Can you just tell me anything you can tell me about how you prepared for that?
That was an incredible scene to film, because we had to film it over. It felt like a million days, because nobody was available. Again, nobody was available at the same time. There was a lot of scheduling things, a lot of stuff. So like, there are certain days we'd film it and I wouldn't be there because I was doing Mrs. Maisel at the same time.
Yeah.
And there were certain days that Jackie Hoffman wasn't available, so she wouldn't be there. Tina Fey wasn't available for a large chunk of it, so we were acting with a body double of hers. And somehow it edits all together again seamlessly, and you can't tell that we're all there at different times. But I do feel like that was a moment where Howard really, a new part of him got unlocked. Sort of this character, every season there's like a new part of him that I am able to unlock in my brain. And this, knowing that he wanted to be an actor and wasn't very good at it, was such an exciting, delicious, like fun thing to play.
Yes. And
just sort of, he's always sort of outside of his body watching himself in a way. So like his movements are so I don't plan them out, but it just feels like I guess I thought about like, how would someone move if they were like constantly so self-conscious that it was almost like they were standing next to themselves, watching themselves say a line. So that's sort of where the movement comes from. Like,
so interesting.
A big part of him is that he's constantly very aware of himself to a fault, and I think it changes the way he moves and the way he acts. I always say that he's a very amped up version of me. I sometimes can feel like I'm outside of myself watching myself, but Howard, it's like times a million.
It's so incredible.
Thanks.
Oh, I love it. Which castmate do you think would solve a real murder the fastest in real life?
That is a really good question. I think it would be. I feel like Selena would. I know she's like very into mystery. She's very into the mystery of the show. She likes to find things out as we go, and try to solve it on her own. I think she is like very sharp and smart, and I feel like she would be really good at solving a real life mystery.
I agree.
That's a good one. So not you.
Not me. No, I'm bad at it. I try to solve it every single season. I'm always wrong.
Who were you thinking, Emily?
I was thinking probably not Steve Martin or Martin Short. Tina Fey seems like she maybe would be, because she's like a writer. I mean, you too, Michael, is like anyone who's a writer maybe could work backwards.
Yeah.
But no, I did one escape room one time, and
I don't have the patience for it. No, I'm always like, I'm always way off on my mystery solving. Like I always, every season, I think I did it or I'm dead. It's like every single season, and I've so far, we can't speak about 5, but like so far up until this point, I've always been wrong.
Yeah, we can't kill Howard. That would be, especially because you just won a SAG award.
I did, with the ensemble, which was so cool. It was so awesome. Very, very surprising. We did not expect it. It was really amazing. I'm looking at it now. It's in my bedroom. It was really cool. It was really unexpected. We've been nominated every year. And it was really nice to be recognized among the whole cast, the whole ensemble. It was very, very cool. And it was a really fun night.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I recommend it.
I'm going to perhaps misquote you, and you tell me if what I read from this quote from you is not correct, and then we can skip it. So I read allegedly that you had said Howard has a lot of parts of you in him, and then there was something along the lines of like some parts that you didn't think would help you be a successful actor that have now.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yes.
you're like sort of quoting me. You're doing a good enough job that I understand what you're saying.
Okay, great. I'm wondering if you can elaborate that on and then how you kind of learned to unlock that, because it's obviously worked out incredibly well for
Yeah.
you.
Well, maybe I can solve a mystery. So I always say yes. He is parts of me amped up to like 1,000. Like he's some of the good parts of me and some of the very bad parts of me. Very much elevated, an elevated version of that. And I think for a long time I was trying to, as an actor, and when I was auditioning and stuff, trying to fit into a mold that really doesn't exist for me. Like, trying to do what I thought people wanted me to do, or what I thought was the right way to approach a character, as opposed to the way I wanted to approach it. Right. So I think once I started not worrying about what other people wanted and sort of just approach the script and the text and the parts the way that felt organic to me, that's when I started booking things, when I wasn't trying to be something I'm not. Once I embraced all of the things that make me, my voice, my shape, my sense of humor, the way my brain works, like all of that stuff, as opposed to fighting against it and thinking of them as liabilities to having a career, I sort of realized, the things that make me different are the things that will get me jobs and are why I work. And are why people want to work with me. So that was a game changer once I started embracing the stuff that for a while, especially in college and whatnot, I thought were liabilities, Oh, people don't sound like this, or I'm too effeminate to play that kind of part, or nobody with this type of body plays that kind of role. And that was all garbage that was in my head. Right. Once I got to let it go, it really opened up the kind of roles that I got to play.
Did you have a moment that switched that, or did it happen slowly?
It sort of happened slowly. I think I still sometimes can fall into typing myself, but anytime I like typing myself out, but that is, I realized, so foolish, because I've gotten roles that if I was left to my own devices, I wouldn't have auditioned for, because I thought that it wasn't my type of role. And then those roles have changed my life. Like those, there's all sorts of peaks and valleys to it all, I think. And I've been really lucky that I've gotten to play so many different types of characters, even though I'm such a specific type of actor. I never feel like I'm playing the same guy. They all look and sound like this because that's who I am. But I don't feel like I'm doing, repeats all the time. The guy that I played on Mrs. Maisel is so incredibly different than Howard, who is so incredibly different than the guy I played on Dexter. Like they're all different. Most of them like animals and happen to be gay.
You've got range. You've got range. Your website greets us with actor, writer, dreamboat. That's range. Which of those do you wake up as most mornings?
Which I wake up as actor most mornings, and dreamboat. Those are the two that are like always. That's a baseline, and then it takes me a little more work to like write.
Love it. I'm gonna move us on to the next section, which we call the story.
Okay.
And this is basically, have you had something happen in your career when you've just kind of looked around yourself and gone, like, this is ridiculous. What am I doing? What am I doing this for? Why? Like, it's almost your game over, and then you come out of it.
So many times. Yes, I have had that. I have had so many times where I was ready to give up. Until I wasn't, until I was like, okay, well, that's not an option. I don't really have any backup plan. But there was a moment where I was like, what am I doing? This story I find so embarrassing and so funny.
Yes.
I auditioned for
Yes.
I
Go
have
on.
not been able to book a commercial ever. Like for the life of me. I can't book a commercial. I booked one commercial once for some place in Amsterdam. The whole company went bankrupt. I never got paid. It was 3 spots. It just was like there was just these 3 commercials that I did for free somewhere in Amsterdam. But I can't seem to book commercials, and I don't really go out for them that really at all anymore. But there was this point where I got a commercial for an Irish potato chip, and it was the audition was, I was like very excited. I was like, I might get to film in Ireland. This is a very big deal. I forget what the name of the potato chips were, but the spot was, they were like, wear shorts and a short sleeve shirt to the audition. I was like, okay, I have shorts. And it was a play on this, like, I think it was a Godiva or some sort of chocolate ad where it was a woman laying in a bathtub, biting a chocolate, and then having like an orgasm. She was like in ecstasy. So it was supposed to be this, but with like a guy in a bathtub eating potato chips. So they have like this, they have this like cardboard cutout of a bathtub, and they have a couple like blocks behind it to sit on, and they're like, can you just roll up your shorts like really high, like roll them up really high so it looks like when you're in the bathtub you're not wearing any shorts. And I'm like, okay, sure. And they're like, can you, yeah, and take off your shirt and get in the bathtub. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like in a pair of shorts rolled up so much that they look like a diaper. I have no shirt on. I am sitting on these 2 blocks behind a cardboard cutout of the bathtub and pretending to eat potato chips and have an orgasm, and I fall out of the bathtub. So I'm like, and I like move, and it's so precarious that I fall out. I'm laying on top of the cardboard cutout. Everything is in disarray. The blocks are all over the place. And I like just look up, and everyone at the table is like covering their faces, shoulders shaking, like like the kind of giggling you get when you're not supposed to giggle. And then like one of them finally was like, I'll help him up. And they helped me up. And that was that. And I left, and I was like, this couldn't get any worse. This could not get any worse. It was like, this was a commercial for potato chips, and I ended up laying half naked on the floor, unable to get up. It was horrible. I later did that as a performance piece, performed that story. And someone came up to me afterwards and was like, that was so brave. And I was like, so brave? My shirt off. It was so that was the moment where I was like, what the am I doing? But then there's like more practical things. There's like, I've really gotten close to things and they didn't pan out. That's everybody's story. I've had roles that were written for me or like written with details of my life that I just didn't get for one reason or another. And that's all just stuff that like I learned to be resilient about. And it really does help, obviously, that I work a lot. So once I was able to stop thinking that each job was going to be my salvation, that it was going to get me out of my situation, or, I wouldn't have to work my day job if I just got that one thing. And then you get that one thing and you're like, whoa, I need 20 of these things to even take a week off of my day job. Once that all sort of, once I put less pressure on everything and started working more, I had less of those moments, obviously, of wanting to, hang in the towel. But I don't know if it'll ever, that might come again. Who knows? Really, right now, I'm so happy to be working so regularly especially on this show that I love so much, that I feel like the only thing to do is to enjoy this time and trust that the work will keep coming in the future. So that's a good place to be. It's a horrible place to be, like most actors. It's a horrible place to like have that feeling of wanting to give up.
Yeah.
But isn't that how everybody's story turns out? Like they're like, and then I said I was going to give up, and I got a series regular on blah blah blah. Like everybody's story sort of begins with them wanting to give up.
Keeping all of that in mind, what would you say your definition is of the phrase making it? So when people say I've made it, or or I want to make it, like what in your world does that mean?
For me, that means being able to make a living as an artist, and working. For me, it's like working on material that makes you happy and you feel proud of. Working on a show that, or a movie, or a piece of theater that you would watch is, like, for me, absolutely making it. Like, you could do a million TV shows, but if it's something that you're not proud of, I feel like that's not making it. I feel like, and then being able to trust, oh, the work will keep coming. There might be breaks and peaks and valleys, like I said, but the work will keep coming. This is the long road for me. That feels like making it. Just knowing that this is it. I am an actor. Saying I am an actor and not saying it with any sort of shame is making it, right? Like, that takes so long, at least it did for me, to say I am an actor and not feel like I was apologizing or being like, no, really, I am, I swear. Like, just to say I'm an actor. That's what I do. That to me feels like making it, for sure.
Yeah. When you were like back working in the theatre box office, did you ever see yourself getting there? Like, could you envisage that?
I have surpassed my vision of where I would be, for sure. I did think I thought I was going to be doing theater like all the time. And I thought that would be my world that I was in. And that's where I would find my success. And it turned out that it was TV and film. And I'm so thrilled with how it's turned out. Like, I love the medium of TV. I do miss theater a bit. I would love to do a play. But yeah, no, I didn't. In my wildest dreams, I guess part of me thought, like, oh yeah, you will be a success and you'll work with great people. But right now, I'm working with so many great people that it's like almost too much. It's not too much, but it's like, no, I wasn't sitting in the box office being like, you're going to be on a TV show with Steve Martin, Martin Short, Selena Gomez, Meryl Streep, Shirley MacLaine one year, like Renee Zellweger. Like, it's like so over the top in a great way that, I didn't manifest that. This was not, I wasn't thinking it would be this great.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
What's she like in real life?
Absolutely. Absolutely what you think she would be like. She's,
love that.
Lovely, disarming, kind, cool, so fun to listen to. She's so smart and really just like lights up a room. She's everything. She's Meryl Streep. She's everything you think she would be. I met her the first time on The Post when I did that movie, but very briefly. But I got to watch her work a lot in that, and that was invaluable. Like, getting to watch, there's a scene where the camera is swirling around her while she's on the phone in The Post.
Yes.
And it's one of the most amazing things. And it was one of the most amazing things to watch. And then to get to do it again on Only Murders, like watching her in season 3 do the lullaby, sing the lullaby over and over again.
Love it.
Was one of the greatest days on set, for sure. So yeah, she's pretty awesome.
I think I'm responsible for like 20,000 of the streams of that song on Spotify.
Thank you.
I love it so much. Do you have a moment? Well, obviously no spoilers, but a moment that you're particularly looking forward to people seeing for season 5 or?
Yeah, Howard's arc is really satisfying, I think, for me. And I think we get to see different versions of him. He's a little ornery and sort of like trying to be independent in the first part of the season. He gets a new friend that is ridiculous. And then there's a really amazing payoff. I think there's there's something I'm very excited for people to see, sort of a grounded Howard at one point.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I love that you love it so much.
I listen, I have seen The Post and I've seen Spotlight and I watched Mrs. Maisel. In fact, my dad has now taken to saying to me, like, anytime I'm about to do this recording, he'll be like, tits up. And I'm like, I don't think we have the same
Yeah, that doesn't mean the
like,
same
and then
thing.
he'll give me a big hug. But I love Only Murders in the Building because it's one of those things where there's a few shows and films and plays. I'd throw like Death Becomes Her in there too.
Oh yeah.
The play, which I've now seen 3 times, but where you're watching it and you're like, I can't believe that this all came together, and like if you think about
Yeah.
it too much, it's somehow going to disappear. Like the fact that this was coming together, and now I get to enjoy it. That's how I feel about Only Murders. And then
Oh.
I love the music, and
Yeah, I love that.
you know, anyway. If you had to give a title to your career so far, so like if it was a chapter in a book and you were giving it a title, what would that be?
I would call it obviously very specific, because that is a note that a very good casting director gave. I was along like right around that time where I was like, I'll never work. I don't know where I fit in. I was pitched for some play, and the casting director said, well, we love Michael, but he's obviously very specific. And that's a good thing. But I learned that's a really, really good thing. But for a while, I was like, that's such a bad thing.
Yeah.
So I think that would be the title, because I think it's the story of learning that you can take things 2 ways. You can think about something as a negative or a positive, and it's so much easier to think of it as a positive.
Yeah, the mental load of it is so much easier and lighter, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's like I was just watching that show Couples Therapy on HBO.
Yeah.
Do you watch it? So there's a season where there's like one of the wives is like just constantly can't stop herself from yelling and screaming. And the therapist is like, you're doing so much work right now. Just let me do the work. Don't do so much work. And I was like, that is such a great note. Like, what a good therapist. Don't work so hard. You don't have to work so hard. Like, we get it. So yeah, it's easier to think of things positively.
If you write a memoir, that has to be obviously very specific. Should 1,000% be the title.
The title, right?
Great.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, we've never had one quite like that before.
No,
it's mostly people in a panic about never working again.
Oh.
Even though they're
the opposite.
Even though they're very successful, like you said, they have it in their mind that like
I can't do it. I think about I can't do it anymore. Like that is like a default. That would be like the base for me to be like, oh my God, the show's not going to run forever. And then what am I going to do next? I cannot do it because it just will make me crazy. So I want to do less work in that regard, and just at least for now, while I'm happy and while I am working, trust that it's going to be okay. Get in touch with me if the show ever ends and I'm like unemployed for a while. I'll probably change my tune, but like it's just much better to I think for me to try to find the positive.
Yeah, when we interviewed John Magaro, he said the same thing. He was like, contact me next year and like I'll let you know if my title has changed. And he was like, hashtag it was 2024, so he was like, this is date marked.
Amazing.
Yes. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was so fun.
This was
good. I'm glad.
I know. I'm always like,
I'm like, yay!
Everyone having a good time.
Yeah. Wait, how do you know each other?
Emily, you tell it better than me.
So in 2020, I was working at Warner Brothers. I was living in LA. I was working at Warner Brothers as a cast assistant, and I'm a networking fiend. And I reached out to Haley on LinkedIn, and she ghosted me. And then 3 months later, I was like, "Hey, it's me again." And
I was also working at Warner Brothers.
Yes, so she was working at Warner Brothers in the UK. And so I was like, let's talk about working at Warner Brothers together. And then I eventually got her to FaceTime with me. And then I have been bugging her every day for the last 5 years.
Oh my God.
Bugging.
Haley, are you in casting in the UK? Do you work in casting?
No, I'm an intimacy coordinator.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
So yeah, I do that.
I have a
But
friend who's an actress
sorry,
there from America who
all right.
I wonder if you know her, but her name's Desiree Birch.
Ooh.
She was on Taskmaster. She's the voice of Too Hot to Handle.
Oh, I do
Oh.
know who you mean.
She's one of my best
Interesting.
friends and one of the greatest people. And she's like a great story because she was always the smartest, funniest woman in the room. And just New York was not embracing her. And then she went to Edinburgh and did her solo show, which was called 52 Man Pickup, and met a guy. And then she moved to London. Then her and the guy didn't stay together, but she sort of created this career, and she's got an incredible career in London. Like, she works there and she has a house there and she has a new boyfriend, and I'm so proud of her.
Let's get her on the pod.
You should.
I love Taskmaster.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Brilliant. It's a brilliant show. I'm just
Yeah,
looking her
Haley's
up.
Haley's a big deal over there, coordinating
Oh,
the intimacy.
She's I do the sex scenes.
She's one of the best in the Bay.
Yeah, I do know who she is. Fabulous.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Fabulous. But yes, well, if she needs any sex scenes coordinating,
I will let you know. I will let you know. Well, thank you so much for having me. It was so nice to meet both of you.
Hope
Thank
to
you.
see you in Asbury sometime.
Once a year. See you there.
Next August.
Yes. All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.